Yo, are we live? What's happening? Are we live? Live. Are we live? Good evening. What's going down? Hello. Good evening. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter show tonight. Good evening, Mike. How you doing? Alunda, Adrian, Fox. Good evening. How's everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend. Sunday night we usually look at army list shows. I think it's a bit of a weird. We're in a weird state right now, aren't we? Because it's like we know 10th is coming. We know it's coming very soon. So there's not all that much experimentation with our army lists right now, I guess. But thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I guess the show will probably pick up and be much more exciting. Loads more episodes when 10th edition comes out. I think at one point this edition we were trying to do like 7 lists in an evening. Tonight we've just got 3 lists to look at. So if you do have a list that you want to get looked at, and one of them is boarding actions tonight. So if you do have a list or anything you want to get looked at, then please do submit it. But yes, it's a bit of a strange time, and I haven't played boarding actions yet. So I have got the terrain. It is getting painted. Mike is in the channel right now. He is painting my boarding actions terrain. I'm gonna have to pay him soon, so that's fine, I suppose. But yes, so I will have boarding actions, and I think for my boarding actions list, I'm gonna be doing something like I think it's gonna be something like some Blade Guard veterans, some Terminators, some Infiltrators, and then maybe a captain or a Death Company captain. Felix, good evening. Juan, Adermont, nice to see you guys. Sorry, Mike, it's a long slog. I guess that's why you're getting paid for it, right? Okay, so TM Punk has submitted a boarding list action. Let's get into that tonight. So he said he enjoyed the content that we pump out every week. He's never posted a list before. This is the first time for everything. He's been doing a lot of boarding actions as he struggles to the time to 2,000 point missions. That's one of the reasons I want to play boarding actions, because some nights I'm sure my wife would appreciate if I didn't have to spend the entire evening playing a single 2,000 point game. I found that because of the terrain layout, it's very difficult to have a lot of shooting in this list, but I've been finding it works well against Grey Knights, Tau, and World Eaters. Okay, I mean World Eaters and boarding actions sound nightmarish because their melee combat is so good, right? So we've got Chaplain and Terminator armor with Litany of Faith. So we've got Feel No Pain against mortals. We've got Mantra of Strength. He's a Master of Sanctity. He's got Combi Melta. He's got rerolls, I guess. And he's got the Breacher Expert trait from the Abaddon book that allows him to open doors at the beginning of the movement step. This is what I'm going to need to read up on. I know nothing about these boarding actions. Maybe... I know Kev has all the books, and we're going to be playing soonish. Maybe like another month from now to give Mike time to finish the terrain. And me time to get money together to pay him. So... maybe we need to do a video on all the boarding actions traits. I could do that, or maybe I could do it on the Grotz channel. We did just go over 1,100 subscribers on the Grotz channel, so that's pretty cool. Hello, Jim. Good evening. Apollo is practically finished painting Dante. Just need to think of a nice color scheme in the base. Man, a lot of people didn't get their Dantes yet. It seems like some people, I mean... I'm very jealous if you've got Dante and you've got him painted already. Okay, we've got an Assault Intercessor squad with a Plasma Pistol and a Thunder Hammer. Sort of standard loadout in the rest. We've got an Infiltrator squad with a Helix Gauntlet. Cool. And cool. We've got the Small Aggressor squad with the Flamestorm Gauntlets. I think the Bolter Gauntlets are going to be really useful, I think, in 10th. But for now, I think Flamers are going to be good in boarding actions. And then we've got Death Company squad with Infernal Pistols, Power Swords, and 2 with Thunder Hammers. Okay, it's an interesting squad. I think and for boarding actions, because we lose the advantage of our movement, and our movement is like one of the biggest advantages, I think I'm going to take more durable units when I play boarding actions. Aggressors sort of fill that role for me, but I also think Blade Guard and Terminators would fill that role really, really effectively. Right, the Chaplain Terminator armor is great. He's got 2 up and he's got a 4 up in Bun. He's got a Litany to Shrug Mortals and a 5, and he's been very useful. But alternatively, he can hit like a train if Mantra and I guess Litany of Hate is up. It's not. It's up normally with the Death Company for the added leadership he gives. I mean, the Chaplain giving leadership 9 is knife. Infiltrators with Helic Gauntlets are quite survivable and really only use them to sticky objectives then move off. I do wonder if you'd just be better off with Incursors, because Incursors can do a bit more damage than Infiltrators, I feel like. Same with Assault Intercessors, but more melee based. Aggressors for Overwatch and good damage output in the fight phase. I was running this list with Assault Terminators and Death Company Firstborn Squad. Minus the aggressors, the current Death Company Assault and Intercessors, but I found I was spread out too thin for objectives. Your input would be greatly appreciated. Yes, I think you want, like, I think you need a number of squads in boarding actions, like, you know, like, I think that would be the drawback of taking a Terminator squad, because they're like 165 points, which is like basically. It's actually a third of your points, pretty much right on the money, right? Because you've got 500 points. 500 divided by 3 is 166. Is that right? Yeah, or 167, I guess. 6.66 repeating, of course. So that's why I think Blade Guard would be really cool. Like a couple of squads of Blade Guard, a squad of Infiltrators, then your character, and then that gives you 120 points to get your last squad. Maybe it's Death Company. I guess you can't take Sanguinary Guard in boarding actions, but you could take a small squad of aggressors like that you have. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I think the Terminators might just be too expensive. As I say, I haven't played boarding actions, but when you think about the board and you think about like there being multiple objectives, and the Terminators being a third of the total points you have, so if you put your Terminators in your characters, you only got like. Assuming you have a 100-point character, which would probably be pretty standard, then you only have like 230 points left. So you can only have 2 other squads at best. Crozier says I can definitely recommend the multiplayer, 4 players, free-for-all, or 2v2s on boarding action. Yeah, I played 2v2s on Kill Team before, and I think we played free-for-all Kill Team before, and that was pretty fun as well. Maybe that's something we can do in the channel. I didn't realise boarding actions can be played 2v2 or 4v4 free-for-all. Was there any rules for boarding actions in the box? You know, the box that came with all the terrain? Jason says we need more likes up in here. Yeah, please hit the like button. On every video that I do, a like is always super appreciated. So you get nothing in the box with the terrain. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend to get nothing in the box. It's funny because I've bought this box and I've never seen it. I said to Mike when he finishes it, please send me the box so I can see what it was. So you just get, what does it say? You get the full terrain set and the board, and that's it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna need to make. You know, it'd be quite cool to make a video or make a little, like, concatenate all these rules into one video, so anyone that doesn't want to buy all 5 books can know all the rules that we need to know. I assume Wapedia doesn't have boarding action rules, does it? Oh, it does. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Wapedia has everything. Of course it does. Those crazy Russians just want to pirate everything, don't they? Oh, he's been off the maps and everything. Okay, then that's on the cards for some point. I mean, it would make sense to make it the end of this edition because at the moment most of my content is covering all the 10th edition leaks, so I might do a video on boarding actions as well. I've only finished 8 short walls and 4 long walls. Why did you buy all 5 books? Well, I mean, there's a lot of lore and there's cool stuff in the books, of course, isn't there? So 8 long walls and 4 short walls. So you've got 8 more short walls, you've got 8 more long walls, you've got 4 wall ends and then 32 pillars. The pillars I'm going to need to hide my Land Raiders behind for the cover save that they get now. I'll have a video up in cover, and there's a bunch more changes coming in 10th edition. So I'll have a few more videos. Like, at the moment, I'd say 80% of the content I'm making is about what's coming in 10th edition, so we can be prepared and I have shared a slide multiple times in my last few tactics videos about like preparing for 10th edition. If you don't know how to get, like, if you go into Blood Angels Commander channel and you click on, I was going to say videos, I suppose, you can see here like 10th edition, 10th edition, 10th edition. I guess this was like, these two were 9th edition, so it's about 50-50 at the moment. And I also did extend the painting competition this week. I put that up on the community tab, saying that we're changing the date the painting competition ends on. I've changed it in the video description here, so it was going to end on the 5th of May, now ending on the 12th. So if anyone wants to enter Dante into the painting competition, you now have a little bit more time. I also got a comment from someone on this video saying, like, the rules for the painting competition suck. So I basically, if you think my rules suck, I'm sorry, that's the rules. I just said, like, that's the rules. I'm trying to make it fair for everybody. Okay, so cool. All right, boarding actions, I guess, would be a good thing to maybe cover. I didn't realize how much time the boarding actions train is going to take. Wow, it's crazy. Cool. Okay, my plan is, if we get all this terrain and it looks great, which it will do because Mike's painting it, I want to create like a few, like, I don't know if I can create anything like on the level of like play on tabletop, but like I want to film a couple of videos of boarding actions, right, where we go to like the end, like we might have that game live, but then we might cut it down into like a 20-minute game where it's much more cinematic. I mean, Warhammer Plus are doing these cool battle reports. Other channels are doing cool battle reports. I want to try. I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. I think we could make something cool. Anyways, because I think a 2,000 point game cinematic like that would probably take. We couldn't do it in a single night. I think with boarding actions we can. We'll see. Okay. Anyways, feedback on the list. It's hard for me to give feedback on boarding actions list when I haven't played it. The only thing I think is, like, I think you would probably hide your units pretty effectively in boarding actions, so I think incursors would probably be just as good as infiltrators, but I mean, saving up 5 points here does nothing for you. Yeah, I mean, because war gear is free and stuff. The only thing I would say is try some Blade Guard. I think Blade Guard would be really good in boarding actions. I like how Blade Guard can be in the tiny little 3-man squads. I think, I mean, if you can pair a squad of Blade Guard to, like, let's say a squad of Assault Intercessors, you know, they're 20 points more and they have 1 wound less, but they have a 1 better save, they have 4 up in Van save, and then they basically have 13 2 damage hits, whereas the Assault Intercessors would have like 21 1 damage hits, and they're doing more. They're more AP and they're more strength as well. So I think comparatively, Blade Guard are going to basically be more survivable, do more damage, and I guess I don't know the advantage or disadvantage of like small units fully in boarding actions. As soon as I start doing games of boarding actions, I'll be more knowledgeable. Sorry, TM Punk, but yeah, I like everything. The only other thing I think you could do is like have a Gravis captain here. But I guess if you took a captain, you'd lose the potential of shrugs against mortals. I guess it depends on your meta how prevalent mortals are. You said you play Grey Knight, so I guess having some sort of protection against mortals is going to be pretty useful. Cool. Okay, next list. This list from you, Mike. Cool. Oh, let's get into it. Let's check the list and then I'll read your comments afterwards. Cool. Alright, so 1999 points. Starting on 2 CP. It's a Blood Angels detachment. Compulsory type elite, so I'm not sure what that means. Alright, you got Librarian with Might of Heroes, Psychic Scourge, and Psychic Fortress. Psychic Scourge over Null Zone? Interesting choice. I actually need to look up Psychic Scourge because I don't remember what the hell Psychic Scourge does. Ah, damn it. It's a Space Marine power, not a Blood Angels one. Psychic Scourge. Warp charge is 6. Select one enemy within 18. Roll a d6, add the Psyker's leadership. Your opponent rolls a d6 and add the enemy's leadership. If your total is higher than opponent's, it suffers d3 mortal wounds. If it's equal, you suffer 1. If it's less, nothing happens. I hate powers like this. They're shit. This is the same as Blood Boil. In a way, but basically with this power you basically have to do 2 psychic tests, right? So you have to get it off first, casting a 6, which isn't super reliable, like let's say a 60% chance. Then you have to beat your opponent's roll, assuming that their leadership is similar, unless you target something weak. Then it's like a 50-50 chance. So I just take Null Zone. Psychic Scourge. The amount of times I've cast Blood Boil and done no damage whatsoever. Whereas like all the other factions and stuff in... This is why it's good their 10th edition is coming, because Eldar, you know, their psychic power is just like, oh, we'll just do 9 mortal wounds. It's like, my psychic power can't even do 1. I just take Null Zone. Fuck it. Later in the game, the game's all stretched out. Just take Null Zone and just remove an enemy's invulnerable save and kill them. Sacrifice your Librarian. What's more, Blood Angels for Land Raiders? Crusarian. The Crusader is very iconic for Blood Angels, I think, Land Raider wise. But here's the big thing: the Crusader kills infantry. It doesn't kill other vehicles, and that might weigh heavily against it. Because I think the Crusader can have a twin assault cannon and twin hurricane bolters, and that's it. So it does nothing against enemy vehicles. So I think a regular Land Raider might be better. But yeah, I've used Blood Boil a bunch of times, and honestly it's shit. So Psychic Scourge is going to be... You'll be lucky if Psychic Scourge does 1 mortal wound any game. You're better smiting every... If you've got 1 power to cast and you can see the enemy, just always smite over Psychic Scourge. It's always going to be... It's going to be more reliable, like 90% of the time. You got Primarch's Captain with Rights of War. He's the one with the Mastercrafted Power Sword and Relic Shield. Cool. And then we've got Sanguinary Priest with Cheek Apothecary and Armor Indomitus. Makes sense. Incursors, Infiltrators, and Intercessors. I kind of like this. Auto Bolt Rifle, Intercessors, and a Sergeant with a Thunderhammer. It's all fine. You've got the 5-man Blade Guard Veteran Squad. I think 5-man Blade Guard Veteran Squads are fine. I think 3 men are stronger, so I would probably try and change that. So you could combat squad them, but it's fine. You got the Brutalis with the Talons and the Multi-Melta. You got Death Company with 2 hammers, 2 chain swords, 3 chain swords, and Infernal Pistol. So you can replace these chain swords with power swords for free, which gives you 1 less attack, but 1 more strength and 3 more AP, or 2 more AP. So I would 100% replace the chain swords with power swords if you can. You got the Relic Contemptor with the Cyclone and the Twin Volkites. You've got a 6-man Sanguinary Guard with 2 Infernals. Honestly, I would just make it 6 Infernals if you can. Power Fists are actually okay in the Sanguinary Guard as well now, just because they're free. You got a Land Speeder with the Multi-Melta. You got the Desolation Marines with the Super Frag Rockets. I would always take Super Crack, because I just think that the Crack is going to be more versatile in that you could punch out enemy armor, and you'll still kill infantry with Crack, right? Like, these guys all have underslung rocket launchers, or whatever they're called. I forget what the underslung weapons are called. Vanguard? They're not the Vanguard launchers or something. Desolation Marines. Oh, they're not. Here they are. they all have Castellan launchers, sorry, which are strength 4 minus 1/1. So if you can see your enemy, you're going to get 8 strength 4 minus 1/1 shots anyway. I guess you can shoot that indirect if you want as well. But my point is, like, you know, like, you should probably just work out like just we can do it real quick, Mike, right? Like, let's say you were gonna shoot like 4 super frag rockets at a squad of Marines, and you're gonna shoot 4 super crack rockets at a squad of Marines. So it would be 5 shots for the super frag, so 4 times 5 is 20. You hit on 3s, 0.6666. You wound on 0.5, right? They're -1 to save, so they will save on 4s. So again, it's 0.5. So shooting 4 guys with super frag launchers, ignore -1, just assume they're all on 3+. You're going to do 3.3 damage to a squad of Marines, right? That's it. That's it. From 20 missiles. If you shoot the 4 missiles with the super crack, you will hit 0.666 of the time, so 2.6. You'll wound on 2s because you are, of course, strength 8, so 0.83, and then they'll save only on 6s because it's -3. So they will save against that. Is that right? So basically, super frag will take 2 wounds off one guy and 1.3 wounds off the second guy. The crack missile will kill one guy outright because that's a minimum of like 5 damage, and then the second one is like borderline. So you're actually, it's pretty much identical. Like, the super crack are honestly more effective than shooting super frag at infantry. Makes no fucking sense. I guess maybe if you were fighting a lot of toughness 3 enemies, there might be a situation where you would want super frag. But I think, like, if you're taking this to an event or a tournament, you're going to want the versatility of the crack. You can still kill infantry with crack. You can also kill infantry with your Castellan launcher. Take the crack. Whirlwinds. When I build mine, I'm going to build them all with crack. And then you've got the impulsor. I guess that'll be for your blade guard. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Sorry about that. Super frag I rate more as I can take out armor with other things. Okay, I mean, I can't see any situation I like the super frag. When it already does the same as the Castellan, I just don't see it. Land Raider Crusader with a selection of 10 Hellblasters armed with standard plasma, strength 8, -4 AP at half range, 2 shots each. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they change plasma, and it'll also be interesting to see how many firing ports the Land Raider has, because I imagine, I'm trying to think, like, they gave the Rhino firing port 2 or something, right? Is it called fire deck? Fire port? I haven't done a video on it. I'm going to do a video on it. I assume that for the Rhino, it was like one guy popping out this top hatch, maybe one guy shooting out these. What's it called? Firing ports? For Land Raider? What do you think the firing ports for the Land Raider will be? Or a pulsar? Hard to say, really. There's only one little window, maybe a window on the side? Land Raider doesn't really have any, right? Firing deck, that's the one. Maybe a couple of people can pop out the top firing deck? I don't know, Land Raiders are out of stock. Whoa, okay. Lots of people have figured Land Raiders are going to be good. Wow, okay. Regular Land Raiders out of stock. The Crusader is in stock. The Redeemer. You know what? I don't own a Redeemer. I kind of want to own a Redeemer at some point. If you're not familiar with the Redeemer, it has a double assault cannon, and then it has got some sort of, like, is it just a heavy flamer, or is it twin link? It's maybe just 2 heavy flamers. But yeah, no, my thought is that I would 100%... I'm going to make my Desolation Squad. I may field them yet. Like, I may run them. And if I run them, I'm going to run them with crack missiles. Alright, I mean, overall the list seems good. And then a couple of weapon changes I would do. apart from that, I'm not seeing much. The only other thing I might say is like I might put another Thunderhammer. I like Death Company Marines with either 4 or 5. Are drop pods out of stock? Who knows? Are they? I've got a drop pod behind me in a box that I've had for like a year longer. I've had it since before I moved into this house. Yeah, drop pods are out of stock as well. Yeah. If everything's out of stock, you could head over to. I was gonna say, is Forge World its own website now? It's been a little while since I bought anything from Forge World, actually. Any Land Raiders in stock on Forge World? I mean, the Proteus is a cool model. Bit different. Drop pod. Again, you have to pay a bit more for the drop pod, but you'll get one on Forge World. Was this thing the thing that came with the Spartan? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what rules the Spartan gets. And I wonder how many firing deck the Spartan will have, huh? I mean, it's got an assault ramp on it, right? Like, it literally has an assault ramp, so the Spartan might be an interesting option. If it's still got 20 wounds, it might have like toughness 14 or something, carries like 25 guys. How many points is a Spartan at the moment? Might be like 400 points, which might make it unfieldable, but they will. You have to remember, all the Forge World point costs were done like at the very start of the 9th edition. Everything has been dropped in points since then. The Forge World stuff never got an update. The whole reason to take the Desolators is a lack of D3+3 damage anywhere in the Marine Army. It's absolutely killer. Yeah, I mean, the only other way you get it, I believe, is like a Laser Destroyer or a Gladiator Lancer. Not many people run either of those. Sorry, so the Redeemer has 2 Flamestorm cannons. Alright, sorry, I'm wrong. These are basically the Baal Predator turrets. 12 inches, strength 6, -2 damage. That's actually pretty decent. So you get 2d6 auto hits, strength 6, -2 damage. 420 for the Spartan. Oh, that's funny, it was like 420 just a few days ago. Yeah, toughness 8, 20 wounds. So, I mean, if a Land Raider went to toughness 12, I could see this being toughness 12 minimum, and it'll have assault ramp. So you guys can charge out of it. It can hold 25 infantry. 25 infantry. If Blade Guard veterans take up 1 slot, you could have 18 Blade Guard veterans inside this, and they can charge after it's moved. Or they can disembark and charge after it's moved. That's fucking crazy, man. I honestly think the most important thing for me, and I've got 2 Blade Guard veterans on my desk that I've just finished. I think the most important for me thing is to get more Blade Guard veterans. Alright, Mike says I've got 10 points left in the list if by the time I'd add another Thunderhammer to a Death Company squad. Yeah, we basically said the same thing. And you put out some Infernal Pistols, but you like keeping the chainswords for chaff. I just think power swords are much more reliable. I'm kind of in the same boat though. I'm not changing the ornaments of a model all that much at the moment because who knows exactly what is changing with 10th edition. Terrax full of Blade Guard veterans. I think that's going to be cool as well. If we still have Icon of the Angel and we can reroll charges and all that stuff, Dirty Wizard, I think that's going to be great. Here's the thing that if we talk about melee damage, Blade Guard veterans are essentially the exact same melee damage as Sanguinary Guard. Their biggest weakness is their speed, right? And in fact, if you think about it, 5 or like 3, if you had a squad, you could do Blade Guard veterans in 4. If you had 4 Blade Guard veterans against 4 Sanguinary Guard in combat, the Blade Guard actually get more attacks because they've got a Sergeant where the Sanguinary Guard don't. So, yeah, if you can transport like 15 Blade Guard up the map and they're super safe and then they're all jumping out of a so you, like, turn 1 you just move your Land Raider form 10 inches, you assume that they can't kill it because it's toughness 12 and it's got like a 2-up save. Turn 2, you just move it forward another 10 inches, disembark all the Blade Guard 3, and then make your charges. It's going to be a bit of a bullet magnet, but like if they don't kill it, that's going to be a serious problem for them. Okay, again, Sanguinary Guard are limited by what you've got finished, that's fair enough. I play exclusively Tempest of War Battles, as it's more laid back, and I have a couple of games of Arts of Omen, and it's been fun. I specifically love just marching the Dread up the middle, flanked by the Impulsor, and having Librarian Force, Psychic Fortress to make stuff survivable. Psychic Fortress does have a lot of value, that's for sure. I've been enjoying running the Captain for some face smashing. I'm the Priest around to occasionally bring back a Blade Guard Veteran or Thunderhammer Death Company. I sometimes try and keep the Captain and Volcott Dreads close by so I can pop Wisdom of the Ancient, and the Lieutenant rerolls are super awesome. The only other consideration is to swap the Priest for a Tech Marine and use the save points elsewhere, but I'm happy with the list either way. Yeah, I mean, you could go either way on this. I think you're probably right having the Priest here. You only really have the 2 vehicles, the 2 Dreadnoughts, and I guess you could argue by having 2 Dreadnoughts that's enough to validate the Tech Marine, but I think you want the other Thunderhammer in the Death Company, and then I think you want the other Thunderhammer. I think you swap out Null Zone. I think you want the Super Crack. But I mean, I've not played Desolation Marines myself. Just telling you what I figured from looking at the math. It seems like when I'm making mine, I'm making Crack. I got so much work to do before 10th edition. Since my Dante didn't come this week, I'm probably not going to play a live game on Wednesday night. I'm going to paint on Wednesday night. I think I'll maybe paint on Thursday night as well, assuming I'm not filming anything for the Grots. So I'll maybe be live Wednesday and Thursday this week. I'm just trying to get units ready for 10th edition, honestly. Oh, I mean, I guess the Land Speeder's a miracle. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I would have used the Tech Marine to repair a Land Speeder. Yeah. That's mad that... So Land Raiders are out of stock. Drop Pods are out of stock. Were Spartans out of stock? How much does a Spartan cost anyway? 70. It's not out of stock. Probably just not out of stock because it costs 70. I mean, how much does the Horus Heresy starter box cost? 180. Oh, I didn't realize this was quite so expensive. Fucking A. You get Terminators in that box. Alright, okay. So you get like 10 Tartos Terminators. Well, I mean, if this was 40k, 10 Terminators plus a Spartan would be like 185. So technically, I guess you're getting 10 more Marines, you're getting this Captain, you're getting another like 30 Marines, you're getting a Relic. Well, I guess it's not a Relic Contemptor, it's just a Contemptor, but it does have a Cyclone Missile Launcher on it, which is cool. And another character. And an Assault Ramp! But it shouldn't be Imperial Fists, because let's be real, they suck. Okay. Juan says he's run the Frag and the Crack. Crack is better for sure. I'd even say drop the multi-melt off the Dreadnought and take the Crack. Just, the Crack doesn't cost more. Juan got an eBay Spartan for 30 bucks. That is amazing. Does it finally mean I build my Redeemer battle taxi? We were talking about the Redeemer earlier. I didn't realize it had Flamestorm cannons on the side of it, Highland Phoenix. I thought it was just like heavy flamers or twin-linked heavy flamers. It's actually a bit better than I thought. War Thunder coming in with a cool little mic drop. It's going to be... Thank you so much, War Thunder. I always really appreciate you guys. The amount of support I get from you guys is incredible. I even got like a I haven't unboxed it yet. I got a limited edition. I got sent a limited edition Horus Heresy novel, like one of the 2000 limited edition ones. And like the guy who sent me it just said like, oh, I won too many, and I already got it. It's the Sanguinius book, like the signed one that came out recently. So I'm gonna do like a charity raffle and give that away on the channel. I'm gonna do that after the painting competition, just because it's like having
War
two
Thunder
competitions at the same
donated
time.
$5 via super chat.
So I'll make like the tickets like £1 or $1. I actually don't know if they do them in pounds or dollars, but yeah. So if someone didn't manage to get the Sanguinius book and doesn't want to get totally ripped off on eBay, because let's face it, there's people that just rip the piss on eBay. Honestly, I saw the lions. Like, look at the dice. Dice sell for like $50 on eBay. The lion 40k. I saw him. Someone's asking 250. Someone's asking 300. I saw one sell this week for like 310. Because you can tip on eBay, if you search something, you can scroll down on the left and you can go like completed items. You can see. So like that book, the lion book, someone already sold that for 230. Someone sold the lion. There you go, 310. Plus, they had the cheek to ask for 395 postage, and they sold that box £310. Like, fuck me. Can we see the listing? It was $65, right? There's a way to see the listing somehow. I think you scroll down. I thought there was a way to see finished listings. Oh yeah, here it is. So it's just the box. It's just a £65 box. I guess if you were buying it from a reseller as well, you can get it like £50. Crazy, man. So what does Sanguinius sell for? The Sanguinary Guard dice are very brown looking. Yeah, so the Sanguinius book at the moment is like selling for about 120, it looks like. Completed items. One sold for 80, one sold for 90. I think one sold for 72, but I mean, it's probably worth 100. So I'll give it away on a charity raffle. Like, it'll be £1 a ticket, so people can enter for £1. I saw more people, like, I've been saying for a while, Games Workshop should do something to stop this shit. Because, like, if you really wanted the lion, you didn't get him, and you go to eBay, kind of make you feel sick in your stomach, seeing all the people that got him that obviously didn't give a shit. I think they should do something in your Warhammer account. Like, I won't go into my account at the moment, right, because then I'm sharing everything about my account on the screen, and I don't want to do that. But, I think they should put something in your account where you can get credits, or you can tell them your favorite army, or something, so like you don't just get shafted because the website crashed and whatever. Alright, Mike. What's to say about this list? Let me think. Yeah, I mean, the thing I think that stands out the most is I like having the Death Company for Forlorn Fury with the real threat of, like, I can kill anything with Forlorn Fury. I think you need more Thunderhammers to make that happen. So I would do that, I'd get the Super Crack, and I think that's about it. I mean, definitely spend your last 10 points. It's a little bit sad that you didn't spend them. Okay, Highland Phoenix said great, and then a little picture of a ruler, or a, I don't know what that is. Great pencil? Great, I don't know what it is. Are Circarians worth running? You know what, that's like a really difficult question to answer, right? Because, like, I could tell you, yes, Sicarians are worth running right now, and then I think 10th edition is going to be released in June. Oh, great angle. Okay, thanks. Hey, it's been a long weekend, Island. One of my kids just runs around and screams like the whole time. So that's what I've had this weekend. So I'm not firing on all cylinders. I like Sicarians. I think there's a few options that are decent. The real question is what's going to change, though, right? Like, who knows? Like, everything's getting a new data sheet, including all the Forge World stuff. I think that's going to be out in June. I'd be very. It might come out in July, but they'll probably. If it's. I was going to say if it's not June, it's July. So you're looking at like 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks tops, before an entire new edition comes out and changes everything. So I could say, yeah, Sicarians are so good right now. And then in 6 weeks' time, that could come out and they could look like a pile of shit. I made a 10th edition. I was going to say, I've got a bunch of 10th edition slides at the moment. This one, preparing for 10th edition. If you're looking to buy something or you're looking to paint stuff, this is a slide I made a few weeks back of things that I think will be good in 10th edition. Or I hope will be good in 10th edition. Some of these might not be. Some of these, I heard a rumor, I hope it's a rumor, that box knots are getting made legends. I really hope that's not true, but that's the rumor I heard. I mean, if box knots get made legends for Blood Angels, does that mean like the Librarian Dreadnought, the Death Company Dreadnought, and the Furioso Dreadnought are legends? I don't know, that's what I heard. But these are the things that I'm probably going to be painting over the next 6 to 10 weeks, plus Dante, of course. So if you're not sure what to do, if you're not sure what to buy, if you're wanting to buy something, this is kind of what I think is going to be good. But like, nobody really knows what's going to be good when everything shakes up. So, Stuka, if you are thinking about buying Sicarian, I mean, there's always something to be said for buying a model because you like it and it's cool, right? Like, I bought a Falcon, and when I bought my Falcon, it's like, it's giant. It's like the biggest super heavy tank you can buy. It's almost unwieldy. It's really hard to deploy because it's so big. It's hard to move around the battlefield when it's so big, but it's a cool ass fucking model, and it dwarfs everything else in my army, and it's a great centerpiece. So like, if you have something that you think like, hey, I just want one of those because it's fucking cool, then, you know, I guess buy it, right? Like, if you, and I think when I bought the Sicarian, it was like 1,000 points. Like, it was literally unfieldable. Like, it was too many points to even. You couldn't even field it. Well, I mean, you could field it, but you got beat every time you fielded it because it was like 1,000 points, 2,000. I was gonna say, I think you know what? I found the picture. I'll show you the picture. I'll find one that's in focus. Here we go. There's my, this was a few years ago now, actually. I can even tell you the date. This was like most of the Blood Angel stuff I had painted. This date was 10th of October 2020. So about 2 years ago. Two and a half years ago? 20th of October? Yeah. 2.5 years ago, this was sort of my army when... Since then, like, I've added a lot of Sangre Guard, I've added Blade Guard veterans, I've added more, like, Terminators. But I bought this just because I liked it. I thought it was cool. At the time, I was actually playing against a lot of players that used to bring knights, and I was like, I just want something that fucking blows up knights from the back of the battlefield. And I'll tell you, that volcano cannon blows up knights. Box Dreadnoughts going to Legends will hurt Space Wolves. I really hope they don't go Legends on the box knots, but I mean, it could be a rumor, who knows. Sorry, new person in the stream, Michael Maddox. Hey bro, I'm new to Warhammer. My first army is in fact Blood Angels. I was thinking about getting Guilliman. Is that a good choice for Blood Angels? My friend is using the Necron's Lord of War monolith thing. Guilliman is great right now. How Gilliman shakes out in 6 to 8 weeks, nobody knows. I have a feeling they will change his rules so he's not as good. Like, he won't benefit Blood Angels on the same level he benefits them now. He is good right now, though. But, like I'm saying, everything's going to change in, like, 6 to 8 weeks. Maybe 6 to 10 weeks. So, unless you... I mean, if you've got shitloads of money and you don't care, yeah, sure, buy Gilliman, he's a cool-looking model. If you're not sure, I'd maybe try and buy something that is possibly got more... Possibly you know more about. Or, you know, there is a new box coming out. There is a new starter box coming out. And the starter box are typically really good value. It'll probably be something similar to this box, right? I don't know if it'll be 185. I'm thinking it might be like 150. But you'll get well more than one. You'll get like 1,000 points of Marines in here for like 150. You'll also get 1,000 points of Tyranids, which then you can sell on eBay for probably most of the money you spent, or maybe trade them with someone for more Marines. That's what I think. Does a Librarian Brutalis Dreadnought become a monster in 10th? I don't know if we'll get a Flying Redemptor Dreadnought or a Flying Brutalis one. Who knows? I don't even think our Dreadnought will fly anymore, Highland, unless... I don't know if we're going to get to pick powers for the Dreadnought. So sorry I can't be of more help. The things that we know that are going to be pretty good probably is like Terminators, Blade Guard Veterans, and some of the armor. Like maybe if you don't have a Gladiator tank yet, I would get a Gladiator tank. You can magnetize the Gladiator tank so you can build all 3 variants from the one box. So I'd probably, if you're looking for a project right now for Blood Angels going forward into 10th edition, I'd do Blade Guard, Terminators, or a Gladiator tank. We know Terminators are getting a refresh. Blade Guard I think are going to be one of the most useful units for Marines. And I've been using the Gladiator tank now for like pretty much since the very start of Arcs of Omen. And it's like a very strong staple in a Blood Angels list. I might end up changing the weapons. Like at the moment of running the Reaper, I might end up changing it to the not the Lancer, the Valiant. But Gladiators are good. And then obviously, I don't know if I'd probably go Brutalises over Redemptor. I know you can't buy the Brutalis yet, which again is a little bit annoying. But you can buy Augustus, right? How do you spell Augustus? At least, maybe if I just search Brutalis. Brutalis didn't strike force. They don't sell. You can't buy the Brutalis in any way, shape, or form right now. Is that true? What the hell is a Phobos strike team? That's just a Phobos squad, is it? That's new, is it? Oh, that's cool. It's just like a Phobos kit with some extra bits on it. Oh, that's cool. I never even knew that was a thing. Okay. The Kratos is on the top of my list to buy along with another Librarian Dreadnought. The thing about the Kratos, and the reason that I don't run Kratos, or I like it, I think it's a cool looking tank, is it's 18 wounds, right? So it means you can never obscure it. So basically if the enemy can see it in any way, shape or form, they can see it like a tiny little bit of it, aerial on the back of it, anything like that, then they can shoot it from anywhere. It can't be obscured. Quite a big tank. And things that can't be obscured can be problematic. Alright. Let's look at this last list of tonight. The Gladiator's 4-in-1 kit because you can also build it as an Impulsor, says Exo7. Yeah, it's an incredibly good buy. Okay, lots of people chatting tonight about kits to buy and stuff like that. Cool, alright. Antonios's list. He's got 3 CP, he's got 2,000 points. And the Blood Angels list. Here's a squad of Voidsmen at Arms. I love the Voidsmen at Arms. I imagine I'm still going to run them in 10th. They're cool. We've got Dante's the Warlord. This is Primaris Dante, because he's 175 points. We've got Librarian with Veil of Time, Might of Heroes, Null Zone, and Psychic Fortress. How's he got 4 powers? He must have taken Tomb of Malkador. He is the Chief Librarian as well. I think you don't want 4 powers. I think you want Psychic Mastery to make all your powers more reliable. But that's just me. What you got? Reroll charges, +1 strength, +1 toughness, Null Zone and Psychic Fortress. Yeah, I mean, I would choose between Mighty Heroes and Veil of Time, I guess, and I would take Psychic Mastery and make his powers more reliable. And then you've got the Selfless Healer Priest. Alright, cool. Augustus, thank you. So, are they selling Augustus at the moment? No. Is anywhere selling it? I guess some places have it, like Goblin Gaming, Total Cards. Oh, it's even on Amazon. Okay. So you can get a Brutalis. It's actually not the worst price on Amazon. I think it was 120 retail. Strange Games Workshop don't even mention it though. Like, no, it didn't. It's annoying when they do that. You didn't match any products. It's like, well, it should match product. Alright, we've got Heavy Intercessors, Infiltrators, and Infiltrators. Kind of standard, but also good. Thunderhammer Terminators Thunderhammer Death Company ×5. Infernal Pistol Power Sword Death Company ×5. So that's exactly what I run for my Death Company, 2 squads. We got the Wrath of Baal Ancient. We've got 2 squads of Sanguinary Guard. One with 3 Infernals, 3 Plasmas. The other is all with bolt guns. Again, I think Infernal Pistols are just better for Sanguinary Guard. So if you've got them, you should field them. We got the Stern Guard with 2 Combi Meltas and a Sergeant with a Combi Melta and a couple more multi Meltas. That's cool. I assume they're in the drop pod with the Deathwing launcher. Maybe also a Devastator squad in there with a bunch of multi Meltas. We got the Whirlwind of the Castellan launcher. I probably wouldn't spend the 10 points on the Hunter Killer Missile here, but there might not be a better place to spend these 10 points on, honestly. Yeah, so you kind of... You kind of just have 10 points, so you just spend them there. Okay. I like Stern Guard with... My Stern Guard I ran had like the 3 combi weapons were combi plasmas, but I think combi melta works fine as well. Combi plasmas are good if you're within half range because you can rapid fire. Strength 8 -3, 2 damage each, so it just gives you a little bit of weight of fire. The plasmas are going to be a little bit more versatile if you end up shooting at like a squad rather than, if you're shooting metal guns at a squad, it's inefficient, right? Whereas plasma is quite efficient against 2 wound Marines or 2 wound enemies. 2 Death Company, 2 Sanguinary Guard, Devastators, Veterans, Whirlwind. The one thing that Heavy Intercessors, Infiltrators, it's a decent list. It's got some ways of scoring, like it can do Relentless Assault, it can do Retrieve Battlefield Data very effectively. It's got a lot of maneuverability. What it doesn't have is a bit of sticking power. And I guess what I mean by that is like there's no units with invulnerable saves, there's no Blade Guard or Terminators with Storm Shields, and one of the things I was thinking that Marines really benefit from is like small units that can hold objectives, and one of those small units for me that's been working really well is Blade Guard. That's why I've been really spending a lot of time painting up my Blade Guard. Michael says, thanks for the reply. I feel like it was very helpful. Oh, well, that's cool. Thank you, Michael. Nice to see some new faces in the stream. I guess as we move into 10th edition, we might get some new channel members or we get some new subscribers. Please subscribe and like the stream if you are getting any value. As it stands, you're adding the blades to the Kratos, it's only making it harder to hide. That's true, probably. I think the Kratos is going to be very, very difficult to hide. And the fact that it can't be obscured is kind of huge, right? Cool. So overall, Antonius, I think. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking Antonio. I like the list. I think it's playable. It would be pretty decent. However, into some like heavy durable armies that can stand up to you, it's going to be difficult for you to hold objectives in certain situations. One second, my daughter just woke up. Yo, sorry. Okay. Yeah, the size sponsons need magnetized on the Gladiator, but I think it's worth doing. I guess you could probably magnetize the size sponsons on the Kratos. When we talk about all these units, guys, you just make me feel incredibly inadequate in terms of like where I am on my Blood Angel's journey. Like I think I've done quite a lot in the last 5-6 years, but like, fuck me, I just need like another. I need like a decade to get everything finished, and they'll keep releasing stuff. I'll never get everything finished. Yeah. Okay. So I like the list, but I feel like I would, if it was me, I think I would probably try and put something durable into it. Like maybe lose like 1 unit of jump guys. If you end up losing 1 unit of jump guys, then you possibly can lose the Sangre Ancient because he benefits jump marines, but yeah, I mean, like for me, maybe if this was my list, I maybe lose this. That's 290 points. I take like 6-man Blade Guard veterans. That would be 210 combat squad them, and then that would give me like 80 points more. What would I do with 80 points? Land speeders, maybe. Not a whole lot you can do with 80 points. I might even drop like the heavy intercessors for a squad of incursors. That would give me 105 points. So you could probably fit in like 3 squads of 3 Blade Guard veterans, or a squad of 5 and an impulsor. I just feel like in the current meta, I feel like a little bit more survivability is actually really important. Marines aren't surviving. Oh, cool. He wrote me something at the top. Thordelum, good evening. How are you? Yeah, so we did get to the list. He's going to run it for a casual game next week. He's going to go no prisoners, shock tactics, or behind enemy lines. Yep, both is valid. And collect data or banners, again, both is valid. I mean, running either Battle Predator or Destructor, and they haven't been doing much for me on a consistent basis. So I think if you want to run Battle Predator, I wouldn't run the Predator Destructor. If you want to run Battle Predator, I think you have to run 2 of them. They don't have weight of fire. But if you have 2 of them, you feel like you've got weight of fire. They're cheap enough where you can run 2 of them, and I have run 2 of them pretty successfully. So I'm probably going to run Sanguinary Ancient for the remainder of 9, utilising the extra movement for Dante and Sanguinary Guard. Have the Librarian to either use Psychic Fortress or Null Zone, and maybe the Might of Heroes Dante if the situation arises. You know, Might of Heroes on the new Dante is actually pretty cool. But I think it's +1 strength, +1 toughness, +1 attack, right? Oh, I hadn't thought about Might of Heroes on the new Dante. That is pretty cool, actually. 80 points is a Reaver squad, says Jim. I mean, run Reavers at your own peril. Might of Heroes. +1 strength, +1 toughness, +1 attacks. Alright, cool. Do you know what? I like Might of Heroes on the new Dante. That gives him 10 attacks at strength 8. That's actually that's a big difference from 9 attacks at strength 7. Because strength 8 suddenly means that fighting armor is just a whole lot more effective, right? Because if you're fighting toughness 7 armor, you're winning on 2s rather than 3s. If you're fighting toughness 8 armor, you're winning on 3s rather than 4s. That helps a ton. Okay. Also helps him with his survivability too, because he goes on to toughness 5. Do you know what? I might do that actually. I was thinking next week, because I haven't got my Dante yet. He's supposed to come this week. I was thinking next week. I was going to run the new Dante, assuming I've got him by next week. He's supposed to get delivered on this Thursday. So maybe that's what I'm going to run, is a Psyker with Mighty Heroes. And just make him toughness 5. I'll probably end up playing against Death Guard and he'll be minus 1 toughness, so it won't make any difference. It might. But, alright, we've got the Sanguinary Priest with all the buffs to trail the Sanguinary Guard and get them an Assault Doctrine early. Use the drop pod to put pressure on the opponent and give them something to focus on near either turn 1 or 2, depending on how things are looking. He's debated using Heavy Intercessors or finding the points on a bike squad with an attack bike. Heavy Intercessors, we ran up the board behind the jump troops to sticky objectives. It is good, like, sticky objectives does give troops like a lot of value for Marines. Mighty Heroes and the Brutalis is very nice, says one. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that either. What's this? It wouldn't make any difference to the wound rolls in the Brutalis though, because he's already going to be like strength 14, right? I don't think the beam per edition pistol is going to do much, Jim, honestly, because I've seen other weapons that have beam profiles that have like double the range, and they don't do all that much damage. Crozier says, what do you think of the new Arbiter squads? I did look at them briefly. I'm not sure I see a whole... I was going to say I did look at them briefly. I've got it in a slide, I think. Jim coming in with gifted subs. Jim, you're a superstar, man. Thank you so much for the support. You're always helping me out. I can't thank you enough. This was it. The Adeptus Arbites. I don't know how you say that. What are they called? Arbites? Here's your data sheets for them. I'll put the data sheets link in the chat if anyone hasn't seen these guys. They did get released this week. There's some pictures of them in the article. They look like Judge Dredd, don't they? Highland Phoenix said he thought they looked like Judge Dredd. So there was like 3 squads of them. And there's the squad with the shields. Hold on, where's their profile? At the bottom of this. This thing's actually a little bit laggy. Yeah, so you've got the Vigilant squad, you've got the Subductor squad, okay, and then the Exaction squad. God, I'm so bad at English, guys. So the Vigilant squad are 110 points. You get 10 of them. Their toughness 3, 1 wound. Every model is armed with a combat shotgun, which is an assault 2, strength 4 -1. That's actually not bad. A shot pistol, which is again strength 4 -1, which is not bad. They got frag and crack grenades. And the Cyber Mastiff is equipped with, oh, I guess they come with a dog as well, which is a strength 5 melee attack. They can sanction enemies. In your roll phase, they can select a cavalry or biker that's not sanctioned, and basically if they do that, then the enemy has to subtract 1 from their hit roll. I mean, they seem fine. 110 points. Not super strong. The shield guys are interesting, so they're 10 points more. Everyone was armed with the shot pistol and a shot maul. So the pistol is a strength 4 -1. The maul is strength 5 -1 damage. You get 2 attacks, 3 attacks on the sergeant basically. But every unit has a 5-up invulnerable save. Each time an enemy unit declares a charge against that unit, it can set to defend. So these guys have a better save, because I guess their shields are giving them +1 to their save. And then they have a 5-up invuln, which is kind of cool. So you get 10 guys, and these are troops, right? So they would give you bonus points for stuff like behind enemy lines. I think the shield guys look interesting. You think Games Workshop should make Judge Dredd models? I mean, I guess these are a reference to that, yes, 100%. And then you've got a final squad, which is a bit more versatile, and it can be 5. And then this squad has all sorts of crazy nonsense. They can take medical kits. I was going to try and break this down, but it's honestly kind of complicated. I mean, they're cool. They look cool. I just don't know if they bring anything overly exciting. Like, if you just want a 5-man squad to do data, then the Voidsman arms are cheaper. Who asked the question about these guys? It was Crozier. What are you thinking about them, Crozier? They're pretty much a copy of the Dread models that the Citadel Miniatures used to make back in the day. Some people had these when they used to be metal. Wow, I don't even remember these. What's the situation on the Tactical Warsuit in 10th edition? I don't know, but Tactical Warsuits have sucked this whole edition, so some people thought they were decent. I thought they sucked. So, you know, everything's getting new rules. I think they might try and make Tactical Warsuit, like, I don't know if they sell many of them because I think they kind of suck, so maybe they'll make them better. The thing about Voidsmen though is the Voidsmen come in, they perform data, and then they die. And these guys will just... I mean... They have slightly better weapons than the Voidsmen. You know, the shotguns are nicer than the las guns that the Voidsmen have, but like most games, the Voidsmen never get to shoot. They come in, they perform data, and then maybe they sit obscured on an objective, or maybe they try and... Maybe they kill like one model. Yeah, I mean, these guys are better in terms of combat than Voidsmen. All of them are better. I just don't know what you would really use them for. I think the cool thing about Voidsmen is it's 5 guys for 40 points and they're troops. So it's like guaranteeing your battlefield data in a quadrant for 40 points. And they're very small footprint as well, because they're on like 25mm bases, right? The shotgun guys with the shields do sound nice, but it is sad that they're 10-man. Maybe if this was 60 points, you get 5 guys with pistols and shields with an invuln save. These guys are 65 points. Yeah, that would be right. So you're paying 25 points extra for, yeah, sure, you can have some better. Each model is armed with a combat shotgun. But I just don't think they really survive long enough to use the shotguns. The shotguns are a serious upgrade over the las guns though, because it's one more strength and one more AP, but I don't know. I did look at them, think they look cool, and then thought, I don't know if I can really see a use for them. I like how they gave the dog Imperial armor. I love how the shotguns are way better than a starter's shotguns. Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing about like models coming out at the end of an edition versus the start of the edition. The models that come out at the start of the edition, they just kind of get screwed a little bit, I guess. That's just the way it goes, yeah. So sorry I can't answer all the questions about like what's gonna happen in the new edition. I don't know anything. Maybe, I very much doubt it, but I was going to say maybe Games Workshop will be nice and send me a preview copy of the book. I doubt that will happen, so I'll know at the same time as all you guys. But I'll make videos, I'll cover everything, we can answer questions obviously. And yeah, if anyone's got an army they want to get on the show, please submit it this week and we'll get you on the show next week. We obviously have some spaces at the moment because 9th edition's, I don't want to say it's winding down, but it is winding down a little bit. People are just very excited for the new stuff. It feels like, well, I mean, the pure lack of army lists submitted this last few weeks is kind of telling me that people are probably doing what I'm doing, which is like painting like fucking crazy. So if you can make your models, paint your models, that's probably the best thing you can be doing right now. If you're enjoying Arcs of Omen, though, knock yourself out. I mean, I have enjoyed Arcs of Omen. I think, honestly, the next tournament I'll be going to is 10th edition tournament. So I'm hoping it's more balanced. I'm looking forward to 10th edition. I'm going to round out the stream here in a second, guys. If there's any final questions, throw them into the chat. If you didn't like the video yet for tonight's stream, please consider liking it. Always do appreciate everybody that drops a like on the videos. But I'm trying to think, like, for me, I'm going to finish those Blade Guard this week. I've got 10 Death Company that were like half painted. I want to finish them. I really want to make my Crack Missile guys, and I want to make my Brutalis. And then I feel like maybe I should try and finish one of my Land Raiders. The problem I'm having, like, I get 2 Land Raiders to finish. Maybe I need to just put more colours on both of them. Carl, thanks so much. I appreciate it. I just hope I can actually get a game of 40k in 10th. I hope you get a game too. Brutalis, Devastators, and Sanguinary Guard conversions is what Wolfguard's working on. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's working on stuff. Like, get as many models finished as you can. Except maybe Firstborn Dreadnoughts, because there's a rumour that they may be going to Legends. I'd be really surprised if Firstborn Dreadnoughts go to Legends and the captain on a bike doesn't go to Legends. The bike captain stays in the Firstborn Dread, because can you buy that Dreadnought? Yeah, I mean, you can buy him for $35, but you haven't been able to buy a bike captain in about 10 years, right? Can you buy any Firstborn on, like, character on the bike? I don't think you... Oh, maybe there's a White Star character. Search bike. No, you can't buy any Firstborn character on a bike. I think there's a White Scar... Well, there might be a White Scar one you can buy in Forge World. No, you can't buy any captain on a bike. And you haven't been able to buy them for a long, long time. I actually had the Chaplain... I never had a captain on a bike. I had the chaplain on a bike, the old metal one, and that's what I used to convert my one. Was this him? This is the guy that was my captain on a bike. He had metal. That bit is on. I guess that bit's metal on my bike captain. I don't remember him being that heavy, but that front plate is metal, which is crazy. 1994, this guy came out. He came out with a dope Blood Angels transfer cheat. So is this guy actually on sale, or is this a? Okay, someone's got this in OOP. What does that mean? Like, is that not like original box? I might watch this shit actually. I was gonna say I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but like, that's cool, man. Is that the back of the box? Oh, look, he's even got the little transfery thing. Out of print. Out of print. This seller is a good guy because this is completely out of print and rare, and probably costs like, do you know what, back in like 1994, this probably only cost like £10-12. Because I remember the Firstborn Dreadnought, the one that we were looking at a moment ago, that was 35. I remember that when it was 1999. So it's gone up about 100% in like the 30 years. So maybe this guy costs $12.99, maybe he costs $14.99, but the fact he's just listed at like the actual increase, and it's in this good quality, it's not painted. It's even got the really shitty base. Like I feel like it's best to buy the round bases for these characters on bikes, but I mean they did come on those shitty square bases. Stuka said he's aiming to stay Firstborn as long as he can. Well, I mean, yeah, I converted this guy into captain on a bike. On the box art, I didn't realize this until now. On the box art, they actually have that's like the grenade launcher, the like the smoke screen grenade launcher on the front of the bike, and the little flagpole at the back is ridiculous as well. What a cool model, and the fact it's out of print. That's cool. A random find tonight. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you have the rest of the weekend is pretty cool. There'll be a tactics video this week. I'm probably going to talk about 10th edition. There'll be a couple of painting streams this week. And it's tactical squads being £10. I do remember when those Firstborn kits were like £10. I remember they sold the little kit. Like, do you remember the little kit that just had like 4 or 5 Space Marines in it? I forget what that kit's called. It was like a kit of 4 Space Marines. Like 1990. I remember when it was like $5.99. Did anyone remember what the little kit was called? Oh well. There's no picture of it. I remember when that was $9.99 as well, actually. Alright, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I still have a bunch of 2nd edition Marines. Do you know what? If they ever release 2nd edition, you know how they released the reprint of like 3rd edition where you got all the stuff. If they ever released that 2nd edition, I think I would be all over it. Even if it's just like you just get the 2 tactical squads that you got in 2nd edition. That was my start in 40k, and it's very nostalgic for me. Alright, enjoy your weekend. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you guys sometime this week for sure. Leave me an army list if you want to get an army list in the show next week, or leave me a comment if you just want to talk about Warhammer. Remember, we do have a Discord. You can join that down below, and catch you guys later. Peace.